really looking forward to sharing with you about Canva for Education. It's an amazing tool. And it just is a tool that is for everyone, like I said before. And so I think you're all going to come away today excited and inspired to be able to use it in whatever role that you support in the district and bring it into the classroom for student learning. My name's Tisha Richmond, and I am a Canva learning consultant. And I also work in the Medford School District. I've been in the district for over 17 years. I've been in education over 25. And currently I'm a student engagement and PD specialist. I do that half-time. I'm a Canva consultant half-time. Before this current role, I was a tech integration specialist, and then I was a CTE teacher for over 20 years, teaching primarily culinary arts. I wrote a book called Make Learning Magical a few years back, and really Canva just fits so in with my passion for education and really being able to create unforgettable experiences for all students. And I'm going to share with you today lots of ways that you can help create those unforgettable experiences for students with Canva. To get an idea of where we are all at on our Canva journey, I would love for you in the chat to let me know your familiarity level. So you might be a 1 brand new user. Maybe you've opened up the app, but you haven't actually explored it, or maybe you haven't opened it up at all. Or maybe you're at the point where you're using it daily in the classroom, maybe weekly in the classroom with students. So this always helps me to know how fast to go, how slow to go, and maybe just making sure that I'm sharing the things that are going to be most helpful for you. Awesome. So it looks like we have some 1, 2s, and 3s. So we're between kind of the new to Canva level to kind of using it occasionally. That is great. I'm glad you are all here, and I am going to help you get started with Canva today. I'm going to cover a lot of stuff, but I'm also going to get you in Canva so that you can actually play and try some of this out. And again, you're going to get the recording and you're going to get this slide deck. So you're going to be able to look back, listen back to this session, and be able to explore more on your own. I also want you to know that there is a great community building on social media. If you follow the hashtags CanvaEDU, Canva Love, and Canva Tips, you're going to find all sorts of awesomeness being shared all of the time. People are sharing how they're using it with students. They are sharing new resources. Canva is continually hosting challenges and sharing out new releases. So make sure that you are on there, and then also share out the things that you're doing with Canva, because I truly believe we are all better together when we share the things that we're doing. So I'm going to break down this session into these different parts. We're going to dive into what Canva for Education is. I'm going to share with you what you can do with Canva and what your students can do with Canva. Then I'm going to jump out of the presentation and I'm going to do a walkthrough, just giving you kind of the basic rundown of the Canva homepage and how to get started designing. And then we're going to jump into the Canva editor, and I'm going to show you the features so that you can really feel comfortable getting started once you get into a design. And then you're going to have an opportunity to play and to jump into a design as well. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Canva Workflow and what that looks like, how you can get started in Canva, and kind of how you can progress as you and your students become more familiar. And then we'll end with a Q&A and make sure that you are getting your questions answered before you leave this afternoon. So starting with, what is Canva for Education? I started using Canva in about 2014. And at the time when I started using it, I was hosting a Twitter chat. And so I was using Canva for all of my social media graphics, to be able to type my questions on for my tweets. And I loved it so much that I thought, you know, I want to bring this into my culinary arts classroom. But at the time, Canva for Education wasn't a thing. Canva was made at that time. It was launched in 2013 for businesses. And so you could bring it into the classroom, but it was a free kind of basic account where you would get to use some of the elements, but not all of them. But I still brought it into my classroom. My students loved it for creating menus and recipes and logos for our food truck race that we went on. And I fell in love with Canva at that time. Since then, Canva has released Canva for Education. And what Canva for Education is it is like you're getting the pro Canva that most people pay premium price for, and you're getting it for free, and you're getting a platform that is made for students and educators. And so you're getting all the bells and whistles of premium, but then you're getting educational templates. You're getting integrations with Google Classroom and LMSs. You're getting a platform that is COPA and FERPA compliant. And it is free for all K-12 students and educators. And so when it moved to Canva for Education, I was already sold. I got so excited because I thought, wow, possibilities are really endless now to be able to create these really amazing experiences for students. For those of you who are brand new to Canva, Canva is a visual communications platform. So anything that you can think of to visually communicate, whether it's an infographic, a website, a book cover, a logo, anything that you can create digitally, you're going to be able to create in this platform. The possibilities are truly endless. And in the Canva platform, they have over 60,000 ready-to-use customizable educational templates. And the beautiful thing about that is that not everybody feels comfortable starting from a blank slate. Some people do, and they have a blank page and they love it and they can just go crazy. However, some people are really intimidated by that. And so you can get into a Canva template and then make it your own. Sometimes the templates that I start with look nothing the same, nothing like the originals when I get done with it, but it gave me that launching point. It gave me that inspiration point to be able to really tap in to my creativity. And you're going to find templates for just about anything that you can think of. And I will show you how to locate those templates in just a little bit. The other beautiful thing about Canva is that it's this very robust platform. It does so many things. However, it is also very simple and it is intuitive. And so you don't have to be overwhelmed with this platform that seems really complicated. You're going to be able to get in and start designing right away with all of the amazing creating and editing tools that Canva has to offer. Something else that is wonderful about Canva is that there are collaborative tools built in. Now, when I started using Canva in 2014, the collaboration wasn't really a thing, but they have added all of these wonderful ways that you are able to collaborate with your peers and that you can have students collaborate. They have actually built in a whiteboard that is very similar to Jamboard, if you've used Jamboard before, where you're going to be able to access templates that Canva has created and put it in this kind of infinite board without borders. And you're going to be able to have students add sticky notes, add arrows, be able to collaborate on ideas, do mind mapping, brainstorming activities, etc. And then also there's the ability to collaborate within designs. So any design that you create in Canva, you can give other people edit access and people can be working within that design at the same time, which is what you are all going to do in just a little bit. And while you're collaborating, you're going to be able to give real-time feedback to students as they're working. There also is this awesome assignment workflow and LMS integration. So I always appreciate tools that allow you to work smarter, not harder. And we don't need our lives as educators to be any more complicated. And so Canva is set up in a way where you're going to be able to create a template that you want your students to access. You're going to be able to share that template through Google Classroom. And then it's going to give a copy of that template to every student. They're going to be able to share it back through Google Classroom, and you're going to be able to grade it. And it does that with a number of LMSs. And so again, that streamlined workflow, I think, is so important for educators, and Canva does it beautifully. So I get the question often, like, really, is this for real? Is this too good to be true? Because it seems like it is this amazing platform that is free for K-12. But Canva's founders and Canva as a company truly believe that education is a human right, and they want to empower the world to design and to create. So by creating this platform for education, it is allowing every student in the world to be able to access this amazing platform and to be able to design and create within it. And I would love for some of you, I know we have kind of the 1, 2s, and 3s, but if maybe you have been in Canva for a little while or maybe played a little bit, I would love for you to share in the chat some ways that you think Canva is different than some of the other platforms that you have used. Because I have found it's different than a lot of other platforms that I use, and I love it for a lot of reasons, but I would love to hear what your thoughts are on why you think Canva is different. And as you are sharing those things, I'm going to share with you what Canva thinks and what the founders believe. And that is the skills students learn in Canva are going to transcend the K-12 landscape. So the skills that students are learning as they're designing, creating in Canva are going to be used beyond the K-12 system. When they go into the world and they're working, they're going to be learning those skills so that they can work as a team, they can multitask, they can be creative, they can collaborate, they can communicate, they can be adaptable, they can just grow that lifelong learning and know that learning is something that never ends. We're continually learning. They learn entrepreneurship. And so it's beautiful when we can bring Canva into our classrooms, because they're not only learning the content through this platform, but they're also learning those skills as well. So I am going to share with you a little bit about what you can do in Canva and what your students can do in Canva, because there are so many things. And Canva, again, is a platform that will be something that everybody can use, no matter if you are an administrator, whether you are support staff, a teacher, a student, you're going to be able to find ways to use Canva in your role. So some of the things that you can do in Canva, if you are an administrator, you're going to be able to make newsletters, websites, staff presentations, data infographics. If you are support staff and you are maybe the one that's creating those newsletters, maybe you are building the school website, if you are helping with those staff presentations and really finding ways to visually communicate graphics and data, you're going to be able to do that in Canva. There also are amazing communication resources. So thinking about posting things around your school or at events, you're going to be able to create those posters in Canva. If you are sharing out on social media, you're going to be able to create those social media posts. You're going to be able to create videos, brochures for maybe an upcoming play or an upcoming event that you're having at your school. All of those things can be done within the platform. And then there's amazing teaching resources that you can create as well. And so when you think about those things that you're always creating for your classroom, whether it is a handout, an activity, a worksheet, a poster, maybe creating an instructional video or a class presentation, those all can be done through Canva as well. And one of the things that I love about creating your resources in Canva, one is that you can take something that you've created somewhere else. So maybe you have a tried and true handout or activity, or maybe a tried and true presentation sitting in your Google Drive. You can actually upload that into Canva and it will make all of the fields editable so that you can breathe some new life into it. So maybe you have this presentation that just is maybe a little outdated. Maybe you've realized it's not as accessible as it could be. Maybe you have realized that you're bored of it. Like you've been using it forever and you just want to make it more visually engaging and exciting. You don't have to start from scratch. Upload it into Canva and then you can make it better. Also, when we think about how students learn, they are constantly on TikTok. They're constantly on Instagram stories and reels, and they're learning in that way. I know my son is always on YouTube and he's learning all sorts of skills on YouTube. So if we can create instructional videos and create those bite-sized learning chunks for kids in a language that they love and understand, how much more are they going to be excited about engaging in that content? And then when we think about presentations, we can create these amazing presentations in Canva that are visually engaging and accessible for students. And there's some really cool bells and whistles with Canva presentations as well. So I am currently in a Canva presentation. This presentation was also created in Canva. And if I hover down at the bottom of my screen and click on this little keyboard, I'm going to get magic shortcuts. These are going to give me these special little things that are going to pop up in my screen during a presentation. So for instance, if I click on a 1 on my keyboard, I am going to get a 1-minute timer. I can click 5 and get a 5-minute timer. 9, get a 9-minute timer. So every number on my keyboard is going to give me another timer that I can use. And simply by pressing that number, it pops up on my screen. I also am going to be able to do fun things like drop the mic. So maybe a student had a profound answer or thought, you can drop the mic. Maybe you want to reveal something really exciting that's happening. You can do a curtain call by pressing U and then by pressing U again. New release, this just came out today. They have added some holiday things. So if you click the I on your keyboard, you are going, I haven't even tried this. You're going to get a piece of pie. How cool is that? If you push the 5 on your keyboard, whoops. I haven't even tried this yet. Or an F, I'm sorry, an F. There it goes. And get a falling leaf. There they go.
Okay, I'm wondering like how many people we've lost right now because they're like, wait a minute, let me go do this. I want to do this for myself because that's what I want to do and I'm trying not to.
I know, and there's so many. I'm not going to go through every one, but there's a drum roll. You can throw confetti. You can do a quiet symbol to make your class be quiet. You can blur the screen. And so if you click on Shift and question mark, you're going to get that menu. But also, again, if you hover on the bottom of your screen, that magic shortcut is right here. You can also do Canva Live, which is basically like an interactive Q&A. So I could click on Canva Live, and we're going to get this back channel where you are going to be able to have your students be able to ask questions or comment. If I am in a session like this where you have a chat, there's not really any reason for that. But we always want to find new ways for our students to share their voice, right? We're not always going to have students in our class that want to raise their hands and want to give the answer. Maybe they need more processing time, and you want to give them that kind of back channel to be able to answer at their own pace. Q&A Live is a great way to do that. And it's this little kind of radio-looking symbol here on the bottom. And you also are going to be able to open in presenter view. So if you want to see your own screen and your notes while your class sees another screen, you can do that as well. And then also recently they released the remote control. So you are going to be able to open up a remote control on your handheld device, and it will even have the magic keys, the magic shortcuts on there. So you can throw confetti from your phone and advance your slides from your phone or separate device. So some really cool perks in presentations that I really, really love. As far as in-class collaboration, when we think about having our students just discuss and collaborate together, I'm always advocating the 4 C's, the critical thinking, the collaboration, the communication, the creativity. And Canva is giving you all of these amazing resources to be able to do that. So there are brainstorming templates, graphic organizers, storybook templates, group work templates already in the Canva library that you can use, iterate, make them your own, and then bring them into classrooms so your groups of students can work in some really collaborative and amazing ways. There are also some really fun things that maybe you would never think of, like game presentations. If you search the keywords game presentation in the Canva library, you are going to find games that are built for classroom use that even give you the directions on how to play them. And so think about that, having your students engage in a game that was created and personalized in Canva. They're also going to be able to create storyboards, be able to work on group projects. So many ways for students to collaborate. And also there's amazing ways for students to capture their learning. So thinking about having students curate their learning in a portfolio. just this, I think it was this last week that websites has been released. Depending on your admin settings in your district, educators, staff, students are going to be able to create websites that have a domain. There are special settings for students. So if a district wants to turn that off for students and have it only available to educators, they can do that, because I know that there might be some worry about having students create a website, but amazing potential and possibilities now for website creations in Canva. Also, students are going to be able to demonstrate their learning in an infographic. Maybe they are collecting data and they want to visually communicate that in a visually appealing and engaging way. You can have them create those infographics. You can have them create videos to document their learning. Maybe they're learning about historical figures, or they're wanting to create a video about a character that they're learning about in a book. They're going to be able to do that within a video. And the videos come in a variety of different dimensions. So again, thinking about this format that our kids love, TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube, you can find videos in those dimensions in the library. So they can select a video template that really speaks to them and allows them to demonstrate their learning in a way that makes sense to them. And then having students create student journals. I had a teacher that I worked with in my district that was they were collecting student journals in a really cumbersome way for them. And they were frustrated because it was taking them forever to check these student journals. I showed them the student journal templates in Canva. They were blown away and they're like, oh my gosh, this has saved me so much time and my students enjoy it so much more. And so thinking about some of those areas that maybe you wouldn't typically think about using Canva for, there are some amazing, amazing things that can be created. And then having your students create those explainer videos of how to do something, or maybe creating a poster that could be posted in the classroom demonstrating what they've learned about something. Our kids in our local elementary school created posters on magnets. They were learning about magnets, and the principal had them sent to publications. They were printed and hung up in the hall of the school. And students were so proud of these posters that they created. It was really amazing. So I would love for you to look at this list and look to see if there's something on this list that either you would like to create or you would like your students to create in class. And it might be something that I shared already. Maybe it's something that pops out to you on this list that you had never thought of. I would love to hear from you what stands out. You can unmute if you want to. That's also fine.
Or put it in the chat if you want.
Either way. As you are the graphics, yeah. There are so many elements in Canva and so many graphics that you can add to any design. It's pretty amazing. The comic strips are really cool. When I show you the walkthrough of the template library, I'll use that as my keyword. And you'll see that the comic strips are multi-page, a lot of them. And they even include the illustrative set of like people and thought bubbles. So students can pull them right from the template rather than having to search in the template library. A recipe card, absolutely. Yeah, the videos are really easy. And the nice thing about the videos is that there's not a time limit. You can create the videos as long as you want, which I know sometimes can be an issue with different types of platforms. Classroom norms, absolutely. I want to make my graphic organizer more engaging. Absolutely. Hilda, I think you'll love Canva for that. Menus, yes, posters, awesome. Thanks everybody for sharing. So many things that you can explore and create. And again, when students can get in here and be able to demonstrate their learning in a way that they love, they have so much fun. It's so fun to watch. So I am going to jump out of my presentation and we're going to do a homepage walkthrough because I want to show you what you're going to see when you open up Canva. And I really want you to understand how to get started designing. So this is what you're going to see when you open up Canva. I want to point out a few things that I think are important right from the get-go. Up here under the Learn tab on the top, there are some great resources. So if you go to the design school, you're going to find great tutorials and courses for you and for your students. And there's a help center. So if you need technical support or help, this is a great place to go to get those questions answered. Also, if you are wanting to create a group, maybe you want to create a department level group, maybe a PLC group, so that you can collaborate with different people within your school, or maybe even cross district. If you go down here to groups, you are going to be able to create a group by clicking on this plus sign. You can decide on who you want to be an administrator and who you want to be a member. And that way, when you're creating designs in Canva, you're going to be able to share to those groups and be able to create folders within those groups as well. So it's a great way to be able to share with your peers. You could even create classroom groups if you want to. And it is also just a great way to kind of stay organized as well. So up in this little wheel up on the top, account settings, that's where you're going to find the groups. I'm going to go back to my home page again. And I want to show you the 3 main ways that you can start designing in Canva. The first is right in the center of your page, you are going to see a search bar. You can see that I can toggle on templates or I can toggle on projects. If I toggle onto templates, it is going to allow me to search all of the templates within the Canva library. If I toggle on projects, that is going to search my own projects and designs that I have created. What's nice about that is, in a perfect world, I love to be organized and have everything in the perfect folder in the perfect place, but that is not always the case with me. And sometimes I'm trying to hunt for something and I can simply put in a word that I know is in that thing that I created, and it's going to bring up everything that has that word in it. So it makes finding things really nice. I'm going to go ahead and type in comic strips because that was mentioned into the search bar. And when I type in the word comic strips and click enter, it is going to search the Canva library for all of the comic strips that Canva has. And there are 185 templates in the Canva library. I can start with a blank comic strip if I would like to. However, I can find maybe a comic strip that I like the style of, and then I can iterate that and make it my own. Now, if I do not want to necessarily add a template to my projects, but I want to preview it, I can simply click on these 3 little dots and click on preview template, and it is going to show me what this template has in it. So I can see that there are multiple pages. I have an instruction page that shares what to do, and this all can be edited to your own instructions. It's going to give me a blank comic. It's going to give me an illustration set with people. In fact, it's going to give me 2 illustration sets, and it's going to give me a page of speech balloons. So now I can take this template, edit it, and then give it to students as a template for them to demonstrate their learning in this comic strip activity. And if I want to use it, I simply click on this comic strip and it's going to bring me right into the design so I can start iterating and making it my own. So that is the first way that you can start designing in Canva, is by simply searching for template types in the search bar in Canva. You're also going to see that it's going to let you search by category. So maybe you are only wanting to look at presentation templates. You can simply click on presentations, and it is going to allow you to isolate your search based on the type of presentation that you want to give. And it is going to give you lots of examples here that fit under the topic or category of presentation. So really makes it easy to find things. The second way you can start designing in Canva is to click on the second tab down on the left-hand side, which is templates. And what's different about the template tab is it's going to give you some keywords up here that you can search by. So if I clicked on school, it's going to bring me into school templates, for example. And then it also is going to allow me to filter my search by category, by style, by theme, and by color. And so I can really dial down into the exact features or words that I want to be a part of my design, or the exact style that I want my design to be. And again, it's similar to searching on the homepage, but it's going to categorize and filter your search a little differently when you are in the template tab. You'll also notice in the template tab that it is going to allow you to browse by subject. It is going to guess what you may like based on what you've searched for before or what your last design was. It's going to give you trending things, etc. So this is a great place to go to explore what's possible in Canva. You can get down a little bit of a rabbit hole because you might be looking for one thing and you're like, oh, but what? Wait, there's this too. And so, give yourself some time when you're in the template library to explore and have some fun discovering all the things that you can do. So search bar in the middle, template tab on the left-hand side. The third way that you can begin designing in Canva, which is where I go most often if I know what I want to create, is this create a design, a rectangle button up on the top right. When I click here, it is going to give me a search bar. It's going to give me some suggested things that I can search for based on what I've maybe designed recently. And then it's going to allow me to choose a custom size. So maybe you know that you need to create something with this exact dimension. You're going to be able to type in that exact dimension right here on top. You also are going to be able to bring in photos. So if you want to bring in a photo and you want to use the photo editor in Canva, it's going to allow you to upload that photo and to be able to do what you need to do to edit it. And then you also are going to be able to import a file from your computer by clicking import file. So if you have that PDF, handout, activity, worksheet, whatever it is sitting on your computer, you're going to be able to bring it in through that import file. Another place that you can bring in things that you have other places and make them better in Canva is by going into projects. This is where all of your designs are located, and going to the top right where this little plus sign is. When I click on this plus sign, it's going to allow me to make a folder so I can organize my projects into whatever categories that I want them to be organized in. I can upload from my computer, or if I click on this import from app, it's actually going to pull things in from my Google Drive, my OneDrive, or Dropbox. So if I know that I have this thing, this presentation or this handout sitting on in my Google Drive, I'm going to be able to connect it and bring it straight into Canva. And so it saves time to be able to just make things better rather than always having to start from scratch. So I'm going to take a breath and pause because I just covered quite a few things, and I want to make sure before I leave this homepage, there aren't any questions about this homepage that I can address before moving on. Feel free to type your questions in the chat, or feel free to unmute if you're more comfortable doing that. All right. Okay, I'll keep looking to see if anybody adds anything there, but I'm gonna move on and I am going to jump into a design and I'm going to show you some features and I'm gonna bring you in and I'm gonna have you add to it. So I am in a design right now. This was actually found in the game presentation section, a Never Have I Ever, a Thanksgiving edition, and I thought it was kind of fun. So I am going to have you all collaborate in this in just a minute. And I want to show you some of the features that are here on the left-hand side. So no matter what you have created in Canva, you are going to be able to, whatever template you've chosen in Canva or whatever you brought into Canva, you are going to have the same features available on the left-hand side. Now, the first feature is templates. So whenever I get into a design, I can change the template to whatever I want, and it is going to select templates that have to do with the design type you selected. So if you selected a presentation design, it is going to show you all of the presentation templates. If you selected a comic strip design, it is going to show you all of the comic strip templates. So maybe you start with a comic strip template, but then you decide you don't like it. You're going to be able to find another template that you like, And as soon as you find the one that you like, you click on it, and it is going to ask you if you want all of the pages or just one of them. You click on it, and it's going to pop right into your design. So all you have to do is click, and it goes right in. If you decide you don't want it, you simply are going to click this undo button on the top, and it's going to go back to normal. So any design, you're going to be able to switch out templates here by clicking on the top. The second icon down is your elements. And this is where all of the creativity comes into play, because you can add so many different elements in Canva. So if I click on this search bar up on the top, it is going to give me all of these different categories. So I can add lines and shapes to my design, and all of the shapes are text ready, meaning if you add a square to your design, that square, you can see the flashing cursor, is going to allow me to add text directly to it. And then anytime that I add text or I'm clicked on any type of a design element in Canva, the top of my toolbar up here is going to give me all of the things that I can do to change and customize that particular element. So I can change the color. I can decide to change the font size here and make it bigger. I can make it bold, etc. So lots of things that you can do with shapes in Canva. There are also thousands and thousands of graphics that you can select from in the Canva library. Lots of animated stickers that you can bring in. You can bring in thousands of photos. And what's beautiful about the photos is that you can actually remove the background from photos. So I'm going to go ahead and just add another page here. And let's say I go in to photos. I'm just going to type in person. And I want to bring in this person. And I want just the person. I don't want the background. I'm clicked on the photograph, but if I click on Edit Image and I click on BG Remover, it is going to remove that background from the person, and only the person is going to remain. Now, the cool thing is it will do this for photos in the Canva library, but it will also do that for any photo that you upload and bring into Canva as well. And so you're going to be able to take photos that you have that maybe you've taken on your phone, on your camera, bring them into Canva, and then you're going to be able to remove the background from them. The other cool thing is that you're going to be able to do that also with video. So if you found a video in the Canva library, maybe you recorded a video in Canva, or maybe you uploaded a video into Canva, you're going to be able to do the same thing and remove the background. So maybe you record a video in Canva and you want to remove the background so it looks like you're at the beach, or it looks like you're on the top of a mountain. Maybe it looks like you're standing in a sports stadium or in a theater. You're going to be able to do that. And notice when I bring this picture in, I'm going to be able to make it smaller by clicking on the corners. I'm going to be able to move it around anywhere that I want. I also can animate this if I want to. I can flip it so it's facing the other direction. And then it also is going to allow me to add all of these other filters, etc., to my photo as well. So it gives you lots and lots of creative freedom. You'll also notice that there are videos in the library that you can select from, charts and tables, frames, grids, and audios. So I'm not going to go in length into charts and tables, but this is a great way for students to be able to visually communicate data that they are collecting, maybe they do a science lab and they have data that they want to present in a visually engaging and appealing way. They're going to be able to find a chart. It'll bring it into their design, and then they can add in their data into the fields here, into the table, and it's going to immediately change the chart. Now, if the data is maybe sitting in a Google Sheet or in a CSV file, you can upload that in here, and it's going to auto-populate that Google Sheet or that CSV file into your graph, which is really, really cool. Also, maybe you decide, I don't want a stacked bar chart. I want a row chart. You can simply toggle on the different charts up here, and it is going to change your data into whatever type of chart that you have selected. So lots of ways that you could use this in a variety of subjects, especially math, science. And then tables are going to allow you to be able to bring in these tables that allow you to add extra rows. You can add extra columns if you want. And all of these tables are text ready. So you're going to be able to type right into the boxes as well. And then lastly, you are going to be able to find these frames. And these frames are going to allow you to bring in a photo, and it will cut it out into whatever shape that you have selected. So because I removed the background from here, you're not going to really be able to see the edges. But if I was to bring in another type of photo and just dropped it into that frame, it's going to cut it out into whatever frame shape that I have selected. So what I am going to have you do, I'm going to show you one more thing in the features, and then I'm going to bring you all into this design. There is text as well. So I talked about templates, elements, text. Text is simply text. You're going to be able to bring in heading text, subheading, or body of text. And then you're also going to be able to bring in these kind of stylized text groupings as well. Notice that when I am on text here, all of the different editing tools that I might want to use to change my text are up here on the top. So I'm going to be able to change the font color, size. I can change the line spacing, all of that good stuff as well. I also am going to be able to upload things from other places. So if you want to upload pictures, videos from any of the apps that are connected to your Canva for Education account, you're going to be able to do that. And they're going to live within your uploads, no matter what design that you're in. So maybe you bring in a picture to this design, it will still live in your images, no matter what design you are working with within Canva. So it's not specific to that one design. It will be stored in your uploads. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to have you do this never have I ever. And I'm going to give you a choice. You can either when I invite you in here, type in never have I ever to your page, or you can decide to say I instead here, you could say I am grateful for and finish the sentence. And then what I want you to do is finish the sentence and add a graphic that best illustrates what you shared. So I shared on mine, never have I ever eaten fruit pie without ice cream. I am one of those people that need to have one bite of ice cream for every piece of pie that I eat. So when you think about the upcoming holiday season, maybe you can add your never have I ever. I'm going to make sure, and I don't know how many people we have here. How many do we have in our session today?
We have 18.
Perfect. So I'm going to make sure we have 18 slides. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share, and I'm going to share by clicking on anyone with the link can edit, and I'm going to copy the link. And now I'm going to put that in the chat. And when you click on that link, it should bring you right into the design. So I can see you all splashing in up here. And when you splash into the design, I want you to find a slide and kind of claim it. And what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to look into my grid view here and see where you all are. So I can see that we have quite a few people in slide 1, because when you splash in, that's kind of where you splash into. I want you to jump to another slide. And when you get to that slide, I want you to write your name right next to the page number. So right here, I will claim this one, and I'm going to write my name, Tisha. So when you find a page to jump onto, I want you to write your name where it says add page title, so we know that you've claimed that slide. And once you're in, you can start editing your slide. So either do a never have I ever and write something that you've never done associated with the holiday, or you could share something you're grateful for and just change the never have I ever to I am grateful for, and then finish that sentence. And I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. And this is a great time to play with changing fonts, adding elements. Maybe you want to change your background color. Maybe you want to play with the background remover and upload a picture. Play some music here. I'll be right back. My dog is acting very funny this afternoon, so I'm gonna let him outside. Love it. Ah, beautiful. I love these. Also, want you to know that I am going to be able to give feedback to people. So there's a little comment box to the right, and I'm going to make comments to some of these. I can even add little stickers.
Rachel, to add your name to the page number, all you have to do is click on the page number itself in the timeline.
Thank you. Let's see that. All right. I love it. I'm seeing all. I've never hit a dog. Oh my goodness. These are funny. Okay. I'm going to, you are still working, which is great. You can continue adding to your beautiful slides. I'm going to go ahead and go into presentation mode. And you're going to notice when I go into presentation mode, I can either choose to do standard, autoplay, presenter view, or I can present and record. So if you want to create a talking presentation where you're talking through your slides and your picture is showing up, you're going to be able to do that too. So I'm going to go into standard mode. And we're just going to click through these. And so if you were doing this in the classroom, you could have your students do the exact same thing, claim a slide, give them a 3 to 5 minute runway, add to their slide, and then maybe you go into presentation mode, and then you give everybody a chance to share their slide and what they wrote down. And so I'm just going to flip through these quickly for sake of time. But I have never eaten mac and cheese. Wow, that is wild. That is wild. So I'm wondering if this is because you maybe can't, maybe you're lactose intolerant, or maybe it just doesn't sound good to you. I'm intrigued by that. Spiced yerba mate mixed with milk. I've actually never had yerba mate either. So now you make me want to try it. Maybe that is going to be my goal for this next week, is to try it. Love it. I am so ready for this time as well with family. I just got to see my kids in New York City last weekend, and it filled my heart. It was amazing. These are great. I love it. Never hit a dog. I am so glad that you haven't. Awesome. I love the animation. Someone added animation to this. I love it. Or maybe the animation was added in the template. I hadn't noticed that. I'm grateful for friends who have become family. So beautiful. Love it. Never eaten pumpkin pie. I'm grateful for my health. Absolutely. I'm grateful for chocolate. Me too. Eating a turkey sandwich with cranberry sauce on it, but maybe this year. That is awesome. It's pretty good, I have to say. I do like that. All right, are we at the end? We might be at the end. Being in charge of cooking the turkey. I have done that a few years, and it is a little stressful, I must say. All right. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Just kind of a fun way to practice some of the features, but also gives an idea for ways that you could bring this kind of collaborative idea into your classroom. Once you have your students do an activity like this, oh, eggnog, I didn't see a few of these. Your students will get used to this, and it doesn't take a lot of time. It's a great way to do an opener in class, maybe a closing activity. You can do something real, a low entry to begin with, but maybe increase the cognitive demand as your students get used to this activity. So it's really fun. And again, you can find a lot of fun templates in Canva. I found this template in Canva and decided to use it today just because of the season that we're in. So that is awesome. I am going to share a couple more things on this page, and then we're going to jump to the end and talk a little bit about workflow here before we go. When you share in Canva, you're going to be able to share, edit, view, comment, access. You also are going to be able to share a template link by clicking in this More menu and clicking Template. But you also are going to be able to share through Google Classroom. So if you clicked on Google Classroom, it's going to allow you, it's going to create a copy of the template that you want, and it's going to send it to whatever class that you want to send it to. Students will be able to open it, send it back to you in Google Classroom. And so really easy workflow there. Also note over on the left here, I am able to go back version history. So if something accidentally erased, I'm going to be able to bring it back. I'm also going to be able to make a copy of something so that I can have multiple copies, maybe for multiple periods that you're working with. So just know that that is there as well. So I want to share with you kind of this idea of a Canva workflow, because when you get started in Canva, you might be a little overwhelmed at the beginning. And so I want to tell you to start with, you can just start with a workflow where you're creating a resource and you're going to share it with a student. Your student's going to consume it. So that might be a presentation that you're going to give to your students. Maybe it's a poster or an anchor chart that you want to hang up in your room. That's a great place to start. Maybe taking something that you already have and making it better. The workflow too would be where you're going to create a template. Maybe it's an infographic. Maybe it is a book cover template. You're going to share it with students, maybe through Google Classroom. They're going to iterate it, make it their own, and they're going to turn it back to you and submit it to you to Google Classroom. You can do lab reports, you can do sorting activities. There's so many different ways that you can have your students access Canva and be able to demonstrate their knowledge. Workflow 3 would be a teacher is going to create a collaborative activity, just like we did together. And you are going to share that to your class with edit access, and they're going to complete it. There are jigsaw activities in Canva. There are brainstorm activities in Canva that you can use and make your own for that kind of an activity. And then the fourth workflow would be giving students that choice. So you're going to share guidance, expectations with students, and then they're going to create a design to demonstrate their understanding or learning in a way that makes sense to them. Maybe it's a video, maybe it's an infographic, maybe it's a presentation, maybe it's not even in Canva, and you're going to let them have a choice between Canva and Flip or some other platform that your district has access to. And so kind of thinking through it in that workflow, start simple, and then you can build and increase that student choice as you go. And I also want just to leave you with a lot of resources that you can explore to be able to continue your Canva journey, because I know I shared a lot. And there is a lot that Canva has to offer. There's a lot that I didn't even get a chance to explore. So there's amazing Canva tutorials. You're going to get this presentation. You can click on this link. It will lead you to all of them. You also can find them in that Learn tab on the home page that I was talking about. There's an amazing Canva teachers community of over 55,000 educators that are sharing amazing ideas all of the time. They're also sharing great resources and challenges throughout each month as well. And then there is an amazing district hub that has lots and lots of resources and information here that you're going to be able to access. You can kind of get in a rabbit hole on this hub as well, because there's lots of stuff, but there's some really great resources. And we also would love to hear your feedback. So if you scan this QR code or click this link, you will be able to go to a form, and they will actually send you an Essentials 1 certificate. So know that you're able to do that. And I am here to support you. So I'm going to type my email in the chat. It's trichmond@canvalearning.com. I also am on Twitter a lot. And so you can reach me there at tishrich, and feel free to message me. And I'm excited to see what you create. I'm excited to see what your students to create. And it's just an honor to be with you all sharing. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And whatever you do with your week next week, I hope you enjoy friends and family. And I'm going to stick around. So I would love to hear any questions that you have. I'm here to answer them. So thank you so much.
And just so you all know, we have 2 more sessions, and they are a continuation of this one. So, but if people didn't come to this one and you go and tell them, oh, it was so great, we will have this recording up probably by tomorrow afternoon. So if you have any questions, this is a small enough group. You can either type them in the chat, or you can go ahead and unmute.
Thank you so much. You as well.
And then, so Tisha, are you going to send me the presentation? That'd be great.
I'm going to share you all. Yes, I'm going to share all of the things with you. I'm also going to just copy the presentation right now and put it in the chat.
Okay,
so
great.
You can have it immediately, but then, oh, you have the recording. So you'll
yes, I did.
That, but I will share this here, but I also will, I can share it also in an email form. There it is.
Great. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Trisha Rogers, I'm going to be sending you the instructions on how to time card. I'm going to be sending that tomorrow. So we're still trying to work some things out bureaucratically. So, but you will be paid for this. And there is no sign-in sheet, because by showing up, that is a sign-in sheet. I actually get a nice little attendance report.
Awesome. What are you most excited about starting? I'd love to hear, those of you who are still here that just want to share. What are you going to jump in and create first? I'd love to know.
I have to figure out some type of teacher evaluation. I'm a virtual independent studies teacher, so I can't just have my admin in the room with me necessarily. So I have to be really creative about this, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do.
Oh, I love it. Now, what grade level do you teach?
9 through 12.
Okay, and what is the subject area?
So it's independent studies, so all subjects.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to be focusing on CSTPs, and then I just got to kind of bring it to life somehow. I started off with the Google Slides presentation, and now I'm like, wait. I'm going to use Canva.
Oh, good.
I just
got to
figure out how I can get creative.
I love it. Oh, I can't wait to hear what you came up with.
I'm also independent studies, but at the elementary level. Okay, Mr. Schwartz-Doyle. I was thinking about the comic strips because NGSS standards for 3rd grade are forces, and forces lend itself well to the comic strips. I used to do that physically in the classroom to draw, so I was excited to see the comic strips for Canva, because I can take what I've already did as a science teacher in the elementary physical classroom and take it to the digital classroom in independent studies.
That's fantastic. Great. I love it. I love it. And what's fun too is in most designs, you're going to be able to do that present and record. So if you wanted your students to create something and then record over it and explain it to you, you would be able to have them do that as well. So it kind of adds that another level And that's something that I didn't even get to jump into, but in uploads, you're going to see a record button, and it's going to allow you to either screen record yourself, or screen record with your picture in it. And it's a great way, again, for students to be able to share their learning in an audible way in Canva as well. There's just infinite possibilities.